So Scouts, what we're going to do is go over how to build a quick start chimney for use with the Dutch oven with briquettes. Actually, we're going to start this with a piece of paper and just a round circular object. What we want to do is actually just create a compass, okay? So you can just put this on here, you know, draw the circle around whatever plate or whatever you're using. And the point is not really to get the size of the plate right. The point is just to have a nice even circle, okay? Because what we're going to do now is actually take a ruler and just divide the circle into as many points as we can. So now's a good time to start just kind of show you what the final product will look like, at least the structure to it. I'm not going to include the briquettes. Basically what we're going to have is a three-tier system. You're going to use the interior ring is basically going to be a toilet paper ring that's emptied out. And then I created two extra circles out of poster board. Okay, and then you can see that I've put some pins in for bamboo skewers to hold it and give it some structural integrity. And that also allows a place for the briquettes to rest in this area. But back to our compass for a second. Let's look at the compass we drew, and let's take the first ring. This is in order to do the right pinholes. So if I wanted to do this, I could actually identify on the ring itself where my pinholes are going to be. And you can't see the marks I'm making, but you can see that I'm going to be making these identification marks all the way around where these lines cross. What this allows us to do is take the next ring, the second ring, and come in here and make the same marks around it. And what we're going to be doing is at the same level, coming into the bottom here with a skewer. Not the whole skewer, I'll show you how we're going to do with that, but we're going to basically take a skewer, put it through one hole and another hole, and those skewers are going to line up on these compass planes that you see here. Okay, and the first row of skewers, going back to our finished model, you can see here, do not extend all the way through to the middle tube. The first row only go on the outer area. Then I have another set of skewers a little higher up that will go on the middle tube to the inner tube. Okay, so now let's talk about how we can actually make these holes and the size of the skewers itself. First off, for the size of the skewers, don't cut on mom or dad's countertop. Find some way to cut it. Matter of fact, I'd probably get mom or dad to help with this and determine what length of skewer. And again, these are just bamboo skewers from Shaw's or grocery store, wherever you're getting them from. And you just want them to be the right length to go through the outer ring and make it to the inner ring, the middle ring, right? So I'm going to come in here, and this just happens to be a model box miter that I use, okay? I can put them in here, put a few in here at the same time, and I take my saw, being careful here. This is a box miter, so the blade will stay in that channel, and I just come in here and, again, not cutting on the counter. I am using a box for this. These skewers are pretty small, so. And then what you do is you just make a bunch of these skewers that are going to be used. What I like to do is, you know, the final skewers are actually for the inside ones. We can actually leave the points on and make them about that same length, because when I come in to put them in to the inside loop here, the point actually helps me just guide it through and then bring it into here. Okay. So let's take a pause. We know how to cut the skewers now. Let's take a pause and go into how we make the holes. So moving back to our compass diagram that we have. Okay, we've already marked it out. This is just for show, but we've already marked out all the points around the two circles here. Okay, what I want to do is come in here and figure out where I need to make the holes. So after I've marked them, I want to find the marks. And again, it's hard to see this here. You can see one right there. It's pretty shiny. They have to be the same height, right? Because you want the skewers to be level when you put them straight through. Again, you know, you wear gloves on this if you want to. I would probably suggest it. I'm using a nail, okay, just a nail. It's not a drill or anything. It's just, and I'm going to hold it and then just kind of work its way through. It's paper, so it's not like it takes a lot to get this thing through there. All you want to do is make a hole, a starter hole. So when you come in, and I'll do 2 here, so I'll do the inner ring too, just to show you. And what I want to do is come out with the outer ring. Just kind of feed this skewer through. If the hole's not big enough, you can make it a little bigger with a nail. You can see I've just fed that through. And what I want to do here is come into the inner hole and do the same basic thing. So when I get to the end of it, it will look like this. And then when I go around the whole thing, then what we have for the final product is this nice round basket. Now they've been designed also so you have a Dutch oven, and let's I'm going to skip ahead here to the Dutch oven and show you how it places in and put some charcoal in to show you the rest. So before we get into putting this insert in, what I want to do is actually take my Dutch oven. So I've taken the cover off. It's a 12-inch Dutch oven. Okay, the bottom of it's 10 inches in diameter. What we want to do is line that with aluminum foil. So I put 2 pieces of aluminum foil crossing, and I just shaped it to the inside of the Dutch oven, like you see here. We're not cooking in this, so just keep in mind this is only for storage when you're on the trail. So I put this aluminum foil in. This aluminum foil is going to be taken out with our fire starter and put in the base of our trash can lid, right? So that's going to be the liner. Using the aluminum foil allows for easier cleanup. When we're done with the charcoal, we can simply fold the aluminum foil over the burnt charcoal ash and then put the whole thing back in our Dutch oven for storage for cleanup after. Okay, so for right now, we're just kind of prepping ahead, and what I want to do is take that insert that we just made, okay, I want to put it in here, just like that, you can see, and you can extend it out a little if you want to make it a tighter fit, extend these stanchions out to the edge, making sure not to poke holes in aluminum. So the match layout here, I'm actually going to use these long burn matches. They're actually really long matches. And you can just get them at Camping Source or Walmart or whatever, but just they're longer matches. Anyway, the reason why I'm using those is they do burn longer than the shorter ones. They're wooden, and you can see that I'm just going to place them in the bottom row, and I'm just going to go from tip to tip to tip and go right around this thing. Don't need to glue them in place, of course. You can see the matches, and I'm just going to keep going around here, around here, around here, around here, and around here. And then I'll probably do the same for the upper level as well. Put some on the upper level like that. Okay? So that's kind of the match arrangement. What you want to do is just get something to start this thing quickly. Okay, and if that will work. What I want to do next is actually just kind of put the charcoal in here. So if I look at the placement of the charcoal briquettes, you need around 20 to 25 for this reheating of the chili recipe. So what I wanted to do is take some charcoal, and this is actually the Easy Light charcoal. You wouldn't normally cook in a Dutch oven with Easy Light, but we just need to reheat. So I'm going to put this charcoal in around the outer ring, and you can see as I place this in here like such, I'm going to completely encircle the ring with that charcoal, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the upper level. So I'm not going to do the whole thing right now. Just got to take it apart again. But I'm going to put this in here, okay. And it doesn't matter if it kind of falls down through either. But you want it. That's why you have the spikes, and I haven't put all the spikes in. But you put your charcoal outer ring, you put your charcoal inner ring. You could even put a piece of charcoal on the top, and you're probably going to get around 20 to 25 pieces of charcoal. You could add the other 5 if you need to at the end. This is quick light. Okay. What I'm going to do now is simply fold this whole kit over. Just carefully. You don't have to pound it and really crease it. Just fold it over lightly. Fold it over lightly. Fold it over lightly like that. And you're going to come back in and put your cover on your Dutch oven on it. Now this needs to be secure on your sled. Okay guys, so we're out in the field now. Like we went over in Klondike Prep, so you have some of this. Remember I said put the 3 bricks down first in a triangle, then alternate them this way. So that will give us a stable base. I'm doing this not in my fire pit, but on the ground like we're going to do in Klondike. I would clean the snow out first, as much as you can, because there's a lot of snow. It will melt down, and you're going to want to clean the snow out. You're going to take your trash can lid, like this. You're going to take a couple pieces of the I'm going to take a couple pieces of the aluminum foil that we have here and just temporarily put it on the side like that. Put the other one like this. Okay, so after we put the chimney in, we're going to keep the sides up a little bit in order for wind resistance. It's a pretty windy day out here today. I am going to use just one piece of paper, not tightly crunched up, loose, so it has something to burn. Okay, and I actually take this whole thing and just place that piece of paper loosely underneath. It's going to burn quick. Again, keeping the sides up. I have a water bucket just in case. You guys should have water on your sleds just in case. And I'm going to come in here and get this thing going here, hopefully. Put one on one side. I'm going to put another one in on the other side here. And we're just going to time it and see how long it takes for these to get nice and white hot. And then what we'll do is we will then put the Dutch oven on after all the paper burns off. I figure that the column in the middle will burn down before these need to get white hot anyway. And we'll give it some time. Yeah, this one will get right in on the white hot.
It's on.
Okay, so this has actually been going for 4 minutes and 30 seconds, and that's it. You can see the coals are definitely caught. They're white. They're getting white, okay? The fire is not going out. The center chimney is still actually very, very hot. I wouldn't suggest doing this, but I can feel it's really, really hot around here. I can feel over there, even on the windward side, that it's still really hot around this thing. So what we can do is put the Dutch oven right in the middle here. Okay, get it set right. Make sure all your 3 legs are down. It may flame up around the Dutch oven like that. It's okay. You'll have a Dutch oven lid holder, lifter. Do not just grab this. It gets very, very hot. Use the lid lifter. So we're back out here in about 10 minutes. The other thing, I do use quite a bit are these leather gloves. These are actually meant for fire and hearth. So got them at L Bean. They're pretty good. They have wool inside. They're leather on the outside. But again, nothing really beats the Dutch oven lid lifter, right? So you can see, I'm just going to lift the whole thing up for a second to let you see what it looks like. You can see the coals are still going really well here. Dutch oven is quite warm right now. Whenever I put it back in, I make sure it's stable. And if I lift the lid, this thing's getting quite toasty actually. You can see, doing the old spit test there, that thing's getting pretty toasty. So that's it, 8.5 minutes total. I would have put the food in already, you're just reheating, so you should have a meal by 20 minutes into your 1-hour lunch. So bon appetit from Troop 424.